Regarding mastermind operations, there is a frequency of meetings. Some of them meet only every month, some of them to bi-weekly, and I chose a weekly format, and you will also see why in just a little bit. I thought 60 minutes, like roughly an hour, should be enough every week. The structure itself, the structure of the session is check-in with each other. I'm going to do the facilitation, and we'll come to the involvement part later. Where are you involved? Because if you want, you can also take over, be a guest, or facilitate the session if you want to. Then after the check-in, there are two different main elements. One is either hot seat. So people in the group take turns in being on the hot seat. And the hot seat concept is there is a topic that you've been struggling with, or that you need some input, or that you just want to bounce ideas off, or whatever the case may be. You can use your hot seat to your advantage. And the group is kind of giving you feedback or commenting or advising and all of these things, which is also some of the major differences of a mastermind group to a group coaching session. In the group coaching session, the coach tries very, very hard to not give advice, even though some coaches are still giving advice. They shouldn't. The coaching nature is asking questions and eliciting from you the response and working with you to do that. Much in contrast to the mastermind group. You have your mastermind group to bounce ideas off, to get advice and to hear opinions and to advance in that regard. That is kind of the hot seat concept. Does anybody have questions regarding the hot seat concept, either from the Zoom call here or on Facebook Live, please? Not that I could see. You can also post it in the chat if you want. Peter, if you want to say something, you can unmute yourself. All good? Yeah, cool. Okay, let's continue with the input. That is something I just decided to call it input. Many other people call it lightning talk or whatever. There is an expert. I put the person in air quotes because they could be anyone. Anyone. It doesn't have to be like higher up in terms of, oh, I'm looking so much up to them. Of course, it's always like kind of role model or experienced people in their field, but that could be any one of you. For instance, if you just recently lost a contract or something, and then you got yourself a major contract back again, then this is something where you could give input to other people and be like, wow, this is what happened, like 5% of the description of the problem, and then 95% of the time description of how you solved it or how that served you. I already lined up people to give us input, and those are people like, one of them is Kirsty, as I already mentioned in some of my live videos before. It's meant to be like half an hour input, and she's vice president of a software company, and I want her to share with us what humane leadership means to her and what it means to lead a team of sometimes introvert tech heads. That is like what I'm expecting from that conversation, and it's going to happen next week. And this is a major part of the structure for me, is having that input. And that could be personal development topics. So I'm also already working with having a personal development coach on, mindset coach on, business coach on. So we get some stuff like fitness, mental fitness, mental health. I'm also working on getting like a senior psychologist on to tell us a little bit about psychology. So it's branching out in different directions, but that is all meant to facilitate broader thinking and problem solving and creative left-right brain combination thinking. I wish I'm making sense. Are you following so far? Yeah, cool. Thank you so much. Then in those weekly meetings, I would like to have a Q&A session with the person that actually gave input, if you want to extract some more bits and bytes of knowledge from them or get their experience on a specific topic. And of course, there is a networking opportunity. You can connect with the person and ask them question personally, kind of what they call offline. That is always a possibility as well. Although, and that is like the major operations part of a mastermind group, is ask your question publicly, like in the group, because that is where people get a lot of their creativity, where they can bounce off ideas and also jump in potentially, because we're all human beings, and we're all going through this life together, and the mastermind group is designed to help you with exponential growth. Well, then closing off the session, I would always make it so that the session closes on time officially, and then of course you can stay and hang out. But for those that want to run, I want to respect my own time, of course, and also definitely your time. So I'm officially kind of closing those sessions with a voluntary homework assignment. You don't have to do the homework assignment, but I highly and strongly encourage you to do the homework assignment. I'm part of quite a few mastermind groups, and I can see the difference. I'm very engaged with one of them and doing my homework, and I can see how I grow in those topics. And the other one, I didn't take the homework that seriously, and I can see how that mastermind group isn't really adding that mega much value to myself, and that is back to me because I'm not doing the homework assignment and I'm not actively kind of participating in that thing. So that is voluntary, but I still highly recommend you do it. And that could be anything. For instance, if we have an influencer coach on, something like that. I'm just making that up, but maybe that's coming. So, and the person talked about LinkedIn networking and what you best do in your profile, and how you can gain following, and how you can gain influence, and how you can generate leads off of LinkedIn. Well, in that case, the homework assignment is going to be aligned with what the person talked about. And the homework assignment is going to be to revamp your own LinkedIn profile based on what you learned during that session. Stuff like that. So I want it to be very practical and very close to your everyday business. And of course, serving yourself, and in most cases, of course, also serving others, because they see, Mark had his LinkedIn profile description. He had senior DevSecOps advisor on there. And after the conversation, he changed it to, I am the catalyst to lead people on a purposeful pathway, something like that. So you see the gist change and see what happened there.